Good morning, guys, and welcome to the third episode of Talk of the Town. Today is very exciting because we have the second most famous siblings networkers in QNet. When I say second, I hope you know who the first. Okay, so this trio is amazing. Okay, they are building in one of the most hostile markets and they have been holding it strong. And they are truly an amazing group of siblings that are truly taking QNet by storm and taking the business to the next level. Okay, they are young, they're energetic, they are super excited, and they are taking QNet by storm. And I'm so excited to be able to talk to them, and we'll find out some secrets about them, which I'm sure will be very exciting. So I hope that all of you are safe at home, relax, sit back, have a cup of tea, have a cup of coffee, and for the next 1.5 hours, we'll have some fun together and a lot of learnings as well, okay? We are also live on Facebook, so those who could not come into this Zoom, direct them to Facebook Live, and so they can enjoy the show as well, okay? So without further ado, please help me welcome the amazing trio of the Rivex family, Associate V partners, Nidaa, Narjis, and Ibrahim.
Hi, VP Sati.
Thank you for having us, VP Sati.
Thank
Hi,
you.
VP Sati.
Hi, VP Sati.
I'm excited to talk to three of you because, there's a lot of things that I want to find out. Okay, firstly, welcome to Talk of the Town.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Both of you look amazing, and Ibrahim, you look normal. Okay, now a lot of people have a lot of questions. Number one, let's clarify where you guys come from. And everybody knows you have an American passport, you're Americans, but then you ended up in Saudi, now you ended up in Dubai, Abu Dhabi. So tell us a bit of your history. Where were you born? Where did you grow up? Where did you study? A little bit of that before we start. Can we do that? Anyone can open
Sure.
it.
Thank you. We are 3 siblings. I was born in Los Angeles. My father is an American. He's from New York. By the age of 30 or 35, he embraced Islam. And my mom is from Fiji Island. So if anybody knows where Fiji is, a lot of people don't know. Even my mom, many times she would take her passport and she would go to the airport, and many times they would look at the passport and say, which country is that? So she comes from Fiji, which is near Australia, and then she moved to the US and she met my father there and they got married. I was born in LA. I'm the eldest of my siblings. And then my father, because he had embraced Islam, he decided to move to Saudi Arabia to raise us in a more Islamic environment. And that's where my sister Narjis and my brother Ibrahim were born, in Jeddah. And we lived there our entire lives. We went to Arabic schools, and so therefore we learned the Arabic language. So that's just in a nutshell.
Okay, now you live in Abu Dhabi, right, Nidaa?
Yeah, but right now I'm in Dubai. I'm doing this from Narjis's house. So.
Okay. So you moved from Abu Dhabi to Dubai.
Mm.
So, tell us how you got started with QNet.
Okay, so my story is because I started off in 2008 before any of...
Cut you off, I understand. You signed up in 2008 and then you signed up in 2009 again. Tell me what happened.
Okay, so I was working in a hospital, at the National Guard Hospital in Saudi Arabia, and I was an employee relations specialist there. And one lady over there, she was an elderly lady. She was volunteering. She wasn't really an employee, she was just volunteering there. And she kept coming to me and telling me, Nidaa, there's a business opportunity, but she never took the time to, explain to me on a paper and pen. She would just verbally talk to me wherever I'm walking. She'd catch up with me and say, Nidaa, there's a business opportunity. And she keeps saying that. And I just felt very embarrassed, like she's an elderly lady. I felt like she was asking for money more than anything else. So I asked her.
Yeah, you got to speak slowly for the translators.
All right. So she would catch up with me, and I used to think that she maybe just needed the money because I really didn't get the concept. So she told me, I asked her, what's the investment? So she told me what it was. And I told her, okay, I'll give it to you, all right? But you have to explain to me later what it is. So I gave her the amount. I paid her the amount. But the lady then, she left the National Guard. She left the hospital. Her time of the volunteering time was finished. So she left. And so after that, she never contacted me. She never gave me, I never got my product. I never heard of her ever again, okay? So I was those type of people who used to think that this business is a scam. Okay, I got ripped off. I was scammed. I was whatever, okay? It was one of those companies and I was a victim, whatever. So my brother and sister at the time did not know that this had happened to me because being the eldest, I was a bit ashamed to actually tell them my story. So I didn't want to tell anybody. So I thought, okay, let me just swallow this. And I just moved on with my life. In 2009, my sister Narjis, she came to me and told me, Nidaa, there's an amazing business opportunity. And she, while she's explaining it to me, it seemed so familiar to me. So I asked her, wait, Narjis, what's the name of the company? And she told me it's QNet. I told her, please tell me you did not join. She told me, no, I joined, and now I want you to join with me. I gave her hell that day. I told her, are you serious? This is a company, they're going to rip you off. They're going to take your money. You're never going to see them again. And she said, no, calm down, Nidaa. What happened? What happened? I told her what had happened to me a year before. And she said, I don't know what happened to you, but trust me, Yani, I've seen people and I go to their trains. I know that this is different. I told her, look.
Sorry, Nidaa, for interrupting, but we're getting some messages for the translators to, we have to go slower.
All
the
right.
translators are trying to translate.
All right. So they tried to, so she tried to grab my attention. She tried to tell me, Nidaa, no, just come and listen to a presentation. I told her, no, I will not attend a presentation. So 1 month, she's every day trying to get me to attend a presentation, but I would not attend. Okay, I kept telling her, you'll see, that they're going to disappear and you'll never get your product, and and you'll realize that what I said was true. A month into her signing up, she told me, Nidaa, there's my friends and I are gathering at a friend's house, and I want you to just come and say hi to my friends. See, she used the word friends. She didn't say it's a presentation. She said it was my friend's house. So being in Saudi, and I didn't really go out much at the time. So I told her, okay, I'll go out. I'll see your friends. So I went to their house, and I was surprised because they changed where they put me in a room, and there was literally like a classroom. There was a blackboard, or a whiteboard actually, and chairs. And she made me sit in the front. So while I was listening to the presentation, I was so angry. I was just very angry that she tricked me. Okay, so in the end, I was still not convinced, and I was one of those really negative prospects. I'm sure many of you guys have faced those negative prospects. At the end of the presentation, I would tell them, or I would ask, what are my guarantees? I never got my product before. Why would I be getting it now? Your words, a lot of words that you said, I heard this before, but it's all, BS. It doesn't make any sense to me. And you're telling me my contract is online. So I was a very negative prospect. But in the end, after the end of the presentation, my sister told me, Nidaa, we always do everything together. And I really need you with me to this, we're always family. We do everything together, and I can't do this without you. So when she approached me in that way, I felt, okay, you know what? I will join for you. I told her, I will join for you, but I won't work. Don't ask me to do anything. So she said, okay, I won't ask you to do anything. And that's how I joined the second time in 2009.
So between the three of you, who is the upline? How does it work?
I started the business. Then Okay, I started, as you heard me that story right now. So I started the business, and I was a person who was really negative about QNET before I joined QNET. But then I saw the lady with me at work. I joined with the person at work, and I realized that there is, I just asked for one question. Is there money? Did you see an income? Did you get your commissions? That was what really, I was looking for another way to make an income. And all I cared about was that there was a business that actually was real and had real money. So I started, took me a month or so back and forth with Nidaa, around 2 months and so with Ibrahim, and that's how we all started.
Okay, among the three of you, who's the hardest worker?
I think we're all hardworking in a way.
That's one thing that the other day Narjis was telling me, is that beautiful thing about us is that we don't, we all work hard and we all work equally. We're not. It's not one person leaning on the other. We don't have that amongst us.
Okay, and how do you settle disagreements between the three of you? I'm sure you have.
We vote.
Oh, you vote.
and usually
Ibrahim is always outvoted.
If we end up not agreeing and it gets bigger, all right, not all three of us not agreeing, usually we go back to VP David about it. So he'll finalize his opinion would most likely be his opinion we would go with that, on which side he is.
I understand that you work very closely with VP David. How did it become your de facto upline? What happened? What's the history behind that?
They all switched off, the uplines. All the uplines switched off.
In 2010, we attended an event in Jordan. It was the first time we met VP David in Jordan. We had a team event, and then after 2011, 12, that's when we got to know him. And then our uplines, all switched off. And I think it was 3 or 4 different uplines. And VP David from then mentored us and supported us till today.
I must say you're very lucky to have VP David as your mentor and coach, as you call him.
Yes.
It's a great honor, and I learned a lot, and he played a very, very big role throughout the 11 years.
Yes, he did.
So what's the biggest challenge with when working among family?
Well, it's good. It's like anything. Even if you're not doing a business together, families have disagreements, regardless if you're doing business or not. So the number one thing is that we need to have a shared vision, shared goal. So that allows a person to work through any challenges or work through any disagreements. That's number one. And there are always disagreements and different point of views. Okay, it's just we are more of an easygoing. Let's just say we're easygoing. So we do the voting system, and we just see the common goal. We always look at the common goal. That's very important when you're working with family, to have a common goal and not let your eyes go out of that common goal. Then you will lose track.
What about your parents? Did they support you from the beginning or
no?
Very negative.
Then what happened? What changed?
Well, for me, my mom. Oh, sorry. For me, my mom was very negative with me, because when I signed up Nidaa and Ibrahim, she was like, how could you do that? Okay, one thing you're doing, stick to your job. Now you're putting Nidaa and Ibrahim into this business. What you're ruining their future. So I did an agreement with my mom. I remember the first few months, after every time I was going for a meeting and coming back, she would say, we still didn't see anything. We still didn't see commissions. We still didn't see nothing happening with us. So I just made an agreement with her. I just told her, give me 1 year. Okay, just give me 1 year. And I checked when was VCon. So I set the date after VCon. So I said to her, give me 1 year. And I told her which date. And if you still don't see any results, then let's talk about it. Okay, she agreed. Now, every few months, a mom is a mom. She kept saying 7 months, 6 months. She started counting down.
One of the many things I remember she was very against was when I quit my job. I used to work for a telecom company, and I quit 9 months after joining QNET, and she was very against me quitting my job. But that was today. She believes that was the best decision we took, or I took.
Tell us about your first week on.
Well, that was I till today I remember it as if it was yesterday. I remember we attended the first VCon, and I would never forget the feeling when the doors opened. We were waiting.
What
Malaysia.
year? What year?
2010.
Malaysia. And I remember we were waiting in lines and queuing up, and we had a few downlines with us. I can't remember the number. Maybe it was I can't remember exactly the number, but we had downlines with us, and we were all standing waiting for the doors. And I'll never forget the feeling when the doors just opened and we saw the arena, the stage, and the music. It was really a huge click of how big the event was and how credible the company and I believe our results after the first VCon changed 180 degrees in comparison to what we did before the first VCon.
So
Nidaa changed completely. I remember what happened was, okay, we were doing the business, but she was doing it more of a drag in the beginning. But when she did attend VCon, she signed up all her HR departments at work. She signed up everybody. Well, I was like, what happened to all these people? Where were they before? So she changed completely after VCon.
That reminds me also, BP Sati, after the first VCon, I signed up my boss in the telecom company, who, I signed him up, and he was very negative. He actually gave me 4 warnings about that I was doing this business while I was working in the company. So after the first VCon, I actually signed him up.
So how many of you attended VCon? With your team or just 3 of you or what?
No, it was 44. It was 44 people, like, to be exact. Okay, 44 people to be exact, and each person, we took them out, pushed them to the max to make them there.
And that year we had challenges with the accommodation and everything. And I remember that I was sleeping even on the lobby that year because we didn't have enough accommodation for the entire network. But after that VCon, like she said, I signed up the entire department. I had about 28 people in my department, and I signed them all up. I went and sat with the deputy executive director. I sat with the CEO of the company. I signed them all up. I brought them to Kuwait events. I brought them to all events after VCon. Seeing is believing, and that's what happened.
And BP Sati, some of the group that attended VCon are V ambassadors today, are still there.
From the 44.
From the 44, from the first VCon, some are V ambassadors today.
And one of them is his wife, to be.
Many of them stayed back with y'all.
Yes.
Yes.
So what would you say your biggest challenge is in the past 10 years in building the business?
I would say the misunderstanding, the misconception that's in I would say in GCC or in some particular countries, but I guess that was the misunderstanding, the misconception of what exactly we do. I would say that created a lot of, but we still did it. And I would say that's probably one of the biggest issues we face.
Yes, changing mindsets, just changing a person's mindset to what we were raised to believe, and to changing them to believe in a different direction, into a different trade was also challenging.
I don't think we ever had real challenges. It's not like there was a challenge that made or break. It's more like it's us. It's always you. So the challenge this person faces is themselves. You can have 1,000 rejections, and you'll always have to wonder to give up or to continue. So that is like challenge number 1. Then when you make a team, it might all be very like sluggish, slow. Then you have to keep pushing and then look for maybe make another team, or they may all switch off. So that's a challenge. But basically, it's all about you making that decision to push yourself, to keep going, to have that mindset, the winning mindset, to have that motivation to keep pushing yourself is so important. So it's never an outside challenge. It's more of an inner challenge between you and yourself. We lost our uplines. We lost the people that was working with us in the beginning. And then you ask yourself to continue or not. So it's always about pushing yourself more and more, motivating yourself. That's the challenge. It's between you and, as you always say, VP Sati, the voice within.
I remember in 2012, we attended VCon Jakarta. We were about 3 years in the business. And when we came back, it was on headlines and newspapers and everywhere. And that was the beginning of the issues. But I remember when we went back, I remember gathering everyone. We didn't know what's going to happen, what's being said, what's the situation. I remember gathering all the team, and it's like, listen, guys, I don't know anything. All I do know is that we started this. We're going to continue no matter what. We know what we're doing is right, and what we're doing is great. And until today, many of those are still with us till today.
Excellent. I'm sure many other companies would have approached you to join them because of your success. So why do you think QNet is different? What's different about QNet?
Today, actually, I was actually sitting and I had a meeting with QNet team in Dubai, and one of the things I was really talking about that I believe there's a lot of points, but one, I don't think there's no company in the world, that actually the founders are networkers. All right, so that's a huge point. No company in the world builds the way like a family. All right, today, networkers all under the V, we're like a family, and the loyalty and the support. So I never see that in any other company. And yes, there's a lot of companies that call, but no one has that. It's not only a business we're building today, it's really a family.
Exactly, and it's the only company I think that I've ever sat with the owner, the founders of the company. It's really family oriented, and it's just the privilege of being able to sit with the founders and to express our concerns or to express our gratitude. Just that in itself is really, instills a lot of loyalty and love for the company.
No company in the world has the V, and we're all products of the V, and that I'm proud to be part of the V.
Yeah, I think QNet is now the number one in the Middle East, number one in Asia. So it's the strongest company. It has the strongest training, strongest backbone, the founders, the comp plan, the commission plan. Okay, the strongest, the highest paid. So it's the strongest company today. And yes, we do get approached by many companies every day with different temptation, different tempting offers. But this is something, not only it's about loyalty, it's about knowing that you're in a company that's not going to last for 1 year or 2 years or 5 years. Something it's built to last,
But in some parts of the Middle East and India and Africa and all that, it has such a bad name and so much negativity on social media and e-commerce and all that. How do you guys handle that?
Well, it happened because I believe how fast and how big the teams grew. I think that's why we're facing it maybe even more than other people, whereas in QNet, because really, I think what QNet did, we broke records. I don't think any company ever did what QNet did with the aggressiveness and how we build, the networking, the loyalty, all right, the fun, and but the way we handle it, you and all the V partners always say, lead by example. And I believe that as long as we're working with everyone on a daily basis, we're there, all right? We're not falling when it comes to challenges. I believe that's the biggest thing, and the belief we have in what we do and in the company, in the leadership. I think that's the most thing that gets people passing all what they read on Google or all the negativity out there. I think that's more important, and people are seeing it. Okay, if you see 10 negative articles today, there are thousands of proper testimonies of people who started from nothing, from zero to hero, and today are making it big.
Facts don't lie. Facts don't lie. So the facts is facts. So what I always tell people, you guys always know that we're not a small company. We're huge. So obviously there's so much competition. There's so many people who are trying every day to be us, right? So facts don't lie. It's always about the facts.
And negativity is everywhere. Even if you're successful at something, you're going to find negativity. Even if you're, whether you're successful or not successful at something, you're going to still find negativity. So it's about just as long as you know that what you're doing is correct, and you've seen the testimony, you've seen how much we've grown. And to me, that's the most important thing, because no matter what we do in life, we're going to always find negativity. So at least it's something that we're succeeding at.
Well, there's so much of negativity, but it doesn't seem to affect the three of you, and the three of you don't listen to this negativity. How do you do it?
We just really believe in what we do. In my opinion, we really believe in what we do. We're not going to do anything else. This is our destiny. This is our life. I never felt that anything was worth it enough for me to let go. All what we hear, all what goes on, and actually makes it taste of making it. It's better. Feel more successful or more happy when you make it.
Very true. I also believe that whatever you focus on, you attract. If you keep focusing on the negative, you're just going to attract more of it. So I always have, even the news, I don't even bother listening to a lot of negative news unless it's something really important that I need to listen to. But otherwise, I wouldn't even listen to, because whatever I direct my attention to and my focus to, that's what I'm going to just generate more of in my life.
I think you have to slow down, Nidaa. The translations are going to go crazy.
So not many people or few people have the belief the three of you have. So what would you tell your network, your downlines, or the people in this show how to increase their belief?
Today, I believe, today we're reaching to a point where it's really very obvious that what we're doing today is 100% right. What we're doing, the amount of lives that were changed by QNet or by this business, by this industry. Today, the facts are there. And I believe that anyone who started this journey, anyone could start something, but not anyone continues and finishes the journey. So I believe today, every person who started this or is hearing this really needs to work on the belief system and know that and be proud that you're part of the biggest industry in the world, the most industry that created millionaires around the world, the most company that created millionaires around the world, and just believe your upline. And
I think the most important thing when it comes to the belief is believing that there's no coincidence. You being here today is not a coincidence. You wanting something more is not a coincidence. It's about what you want. You wanted something more, so that's why you're here. And now believe in yourself. Believe in what was given to you, your desires. That those are not just gonna go out, out of the window. They're there for you to achieve it. Your desires are in you, so you can achieve it. That's what I believe, and I believe that's why most important is to believe in yourself. QNet is a tool. QNet is a tool to make all your dreams come true. So if you want, you first have to believe in yourself, then you're in the Ferrari of e-commerce and network marketing, being in QNet, and then just go all the way.
No, but Narjis, believing in yourself is easier said than done. People, they have fears, they have doubts and all that. How do you overcome that?
I always tell people, just believe that the fact that you have a certain desire in you is something to take very seriously. So when it's very cruel to think, this is very cruel to think that a desire was given to you, that you wanted something so much that it was given to you so you can be heartbroken or so you can be devastated. That's just cruel thinking. And if you think that way, you will get that. But if you believe in your desire, that it was given to you as a responsibility, your dreams are your responsibility. So you, and only you can achieve what you want, no one else. So everyone has different desires. So your desire was given to you because only you and no one else can achieve what you want. So just believe in that mission.
Like VP Sati, like our founders and chief always talk about the master plan. I mean, I was one of the people when I joined. I think all three of us, not about that we were convinced or we knew what was going to happen. Today we meet people, I always say that 11 years ago or 10 years ago, we never knew what was going to happen. We never knew what's the situation. But the master plan, there was a reason why back in 2009 we were presented with this business. There was a reason why it wasn't a coincidence. So I think a person, if he believes big time in the master plan, it would help his belief system.
I'm sure that many of your leaders have quit the business, correct? Since you started, many of them quit and join another company or whatever reason happened, right? So the network below them, what happens to them?
Well, we would reach out to the people below us, whoever is, if their upline switch off, we would always reach down and we would always support those people, no matter what. We've always had that. We've always done that until this day. We don't only deal with the first line or second line. It's the trick. I think the most important thing to strengthen any network is to always go down, regardless of whether the upline is active or not, but to always reach and always communicate with even to the last person in the network, regardless of whether their uplines are active or not.
We are very approachable. That's one thing. We don't have that, like we're uplines. No one can talk to us. No matter who you are, where you are, we're very approachable. And that door is always open as long as you're serious, you want to work, and we're always there.
Excellent. Now let's talk about coronavirus for a while. Okay, we have been in lockdown for what now? 6 months almost?
6 months, yes, from February or end of February.
When it first happened, the three of you spent 12 to 16 hours a day in front of the computer, just like that, overnight. Okay, how did you manage to do that? What pushed you to do that? How did you build the network staying at home from the computer? Tell the guys.
I think there's two. Okay, go ahead.
When it first happened, I was extremely excited. I was extremely excited about this opportunity because we always had this vision that this business would go, purely online. We always say it's an e-commerce, it's an online business, but a majority of our work would always be face to face. So this was, we were always planning, and we would build websites, and remember, how we would just plan how we can make this and take this in a pure online business. And it was just like as if it was just our prayers were answered when this corona. I know a lot of people saw it as a challenge, but we saw it as an amazing opportunity to be able to take this business purely online. So I was extremely excited about it. We started telling people, this is the future, and this is the way we're gonna, this is how network marketing and how the e-commerce business is meant to be. This is how we're supposed to be building. And this is the only way that we will be able to reach many countries and many cities all around the world from your own home. So we spent hours and hours and days of just, making people aware of what a great opportunity we were presented with. And every challenge presents this opportunity. And maybe this is challenging for other people, but this is a great opportunity for us.
We basically, since Corona or since the virus or lockdown, I personally worked maybe 10 times harder than I've ever worked. Okay, I feel like it's more like day one, or since I started the business, actually. Okay, the first year. So it's been just meetings, 10 to 15 meetings a day easily, and just enjoying it because you're doing it from home. Now to get that energy, sometimes you do want to do it from another place. So sometimes you'll do it in a cafe, sometimes you'll do it in another new location, but it's still being done through your phone. So that's something,
Me honestly, VP Sati, I love the fact that I was doing presentations and meetings and trainings wearing shorts. I love that.
Are you wearing shorts now, Ibrahim?
Yes, VP Sati.
Somebody who says, I don't know how to present online, what do you tell them?
If you don't know how to present online, it's the same as presenting offline.
Exactly.
Presenting online is
instead of like this. Instead of on the paper on the table, you just do it.
Or just get a PowerPoint, or just do a PowerPoint. Yeah.
But I believe, VP Sati, that this really taught us a lot, and I believe the skill that was people. I mean, there's actually something great when a person reaches to a point where he starts presenting, and practice makes perfect. So I always said at the beginning of COVID that the more we do it, the more we practice it, the better we're going to get. And I believe that people who reach to a skill that they can sign up people online, I think if they can do it online, they're going to be able to do it anywhere.
So what happens after the lockdown when people are allowed to move freely? Will online presentation stop, or you will still continue doing online? I
believe to a certain percentage. Obviously, there are going to be meetings and presentations physical, but to a certain extent, I think we'll continue online. I think it's the new norm. It's the new era for what we do, and it's the best way to build in so many different countries. All right, people were having issues of if they were running 6 different cities in one country or 5 or 4 countries. They had an issue of flying all the time to each market. Now a person has the opportunity to speak to 5 countries in one day. So I believe that this should remain the new way we do our business.
We are currently, we do implement now, because a lot of the cities have opened up and some countries have opened up, their airlines. And so especially in domestic airlines. So what we have been doing, at least the human touch is really important. It's still a necessity. I would never say that 100% everything should be done online. I believe that maybe 80% should be done online, but there's a 20% where we still need to meet with the people, to show, that energy, that human touch is a necessity. And right now that we are actually doing, a few meetings, physical meetings that we have arranged for all the networks, so that after 6 months of not seeing them, they're able to at least see them face to face. So I would say 80-20 would be the new norm.
I believe the physical touch or the physical, touch is very important. So what we will do no matter after lockdown is definitely have more of that. The hugs, the seeing the person, the energy is so different when you're face to face. So that has to happen after lockdown, hopefully.
Okay. In September 6, 7, and 8, we're having our first online.
Yes.
So excited.
Woo!
It's going to be very excited. Is your network going to join us?
Definitely. Of course.
And actually yesterday we had a whole call with we had a Zoom call with all the core leaders of the team, and we were talking about this, how there's no excuse. All right, now a person sitting at home can actually be in VCon, and it's the best time to push the biggest numbers of people to attend. I mean, it's amazing how actually today we are going to do a VCon online. It's really amazing.
I'm excited as well.
I'm very excited.
Dato Sri is going to be there. Japa is going to be there. Some of the most of the V partners.
I think it's going to be I think still we're going to feel the VCon energy. We're going to still feel it. Definitely. So excited for that.
Okay. So we're going to take a 5-minute commercial break. Okay, and we are back. I'm here today, Talk of the Town Part 2 with the Rywak siblings, and it's been so exciting so far for the past 45 minutes, and we're going to move to the next level, which is going to get a little bit personal. Ha! Now, Nidaa, I got to ask you a question. Tell me one of Ibrahim's strengths and one of Narjis' strengths.
Okay. And Narjis' strength is that she's a visionary. She and a dreamer, and she always she has this strength about her. Is that she has this intuition about what she wants for the future and what she wants to build. Ibrahim's strength is his aggressiveness or his passion. He's extremely passionate, extremely aggressive. I mean, he commands. He commands a stage. He commands a group. He commands easily. So I'm very lucky.
Narjis, your turn.
My turn.
Ibrahim and Nidaa, what are the strengths?
Nidaa is more, she's very mature. Okay, so she's the balancing person among us. She always finds a way to balance everything, and she plans and she's very systematic, very disciplined. Okay, and Ibrahim is a person who is aggressive at work. So when he works, he's aggressive what he does. Yeah.
Ibrahim?
You put VP Santi, you put me the last. They said all the stuff. but yes, Nidaa, I would say, is the one, the most disciplined, all right, and the most mature one, and the most that keeps us really. The support, the love. She's really she really cares. That's the best thing. The most thing about her, she really cares about the team, about everyone. She goes out of her way to help. And very disciplined. Narjis, I would agree with that. The strategies, the planning, the vision she has. All right, she thinks really ahead in the future. I mean, she plans. She's great at strategizing. I think so. She's the brains. That's the heart. Narjis the brains.
So among the three of you, who's the biggest dreamer?
Definitely me.
Now, Championia is one of the strongest team in QNet. Okay, what would you say the reason for your success would be?
The reason for our success, what would it be? We stick together. We have a shared mission, shared goal. I can't emphasize how important that is, to have that shared goal in the end, because things can happen, challenges come and go. But if you know what you want and you're always, just like the horse when they're riding or running a race, they have those stuff left and right so they don't go astray. So that is so important. We have that shared goal, shared mission. And that is so important, I believe, in anything, not just in growing a team.
Nidaa, what would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. To become successful in building a successful team, it requires. I'm sorry, could you just repeat the question?
What would you attribute Championess success to?
Okay. I think it's the care and the fact that we really work with them as a family. You know, the care and the way we work together is really, really strong. We become more family than anything else. And we set plans, you know, we put plans, we work together as a team, and we put milestones. I really work very hard with the group in terms of rank advancements, coming up with systems. And I think that when you help people achieve one milestone and then another milestone and then another, that not only strengthens the team, but it strengthens their belief and their belief in their leadership. So I think that's one of the most important things that has made a big difference or the success for this team.
Where do you see Championess in the next 5 years?
Everywhere.
All over the world, in every city, in every country.
In every house.
Inshallah.
And how difficult is that going to be?
Challenging, but possible.
Challenging but possible.
Yes.
So what would your message be to your network to make that vision happen?
That we started this together. We started this together. We believed in each other. We made it this far. Nothing's gonna stop us. All right, and this is what we're meant to do. This is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna always stand strong together, best times and worst times, and make it happen.
Okay, so let me ask Nidaa. Nidaa, how is it difficult? You have a daughter, a beautiful daughter. What's the name?
Laura.
Laura, that's beautiful. So how is it you balance Laura, your husband, and the business? How difficult is that? I mean, doesn't she say, Mama, where are you going? You're always going for meetings. Why are you not spending time with me? Why are you not playing with me? Does she do that?
Yeah, of course. That's why I was one of the very happy people when Corona happened, so I could do it at home and online. I'm extremely grateful for that. Everybody would think I was insane, but I was the only one jumping up and down for the Corona. But it's, of course, it's challenging. But one of the things that I always took my mother as a role model is how she strived to become a role model for us, and how she went through all the challenges and got through all challenges to become who she is and the successful person that she is today. And I always, and the thing that keeps me going, keeps me motivated whenever I find it challenging, is that I want her to look up to me in that same way. I want her to look up to me that her mother is somebody. Her mother, created all this success. Her mother has achieved so much. I want to be a source of pride for her, So that for me beats any challenge, anything. That's what I always keep in mind.
Okay. What about your husband? What about your husband? Do they support you in the business? Do they give you a hard time? How do you manage that?
Yes, they're very well. We're one of the very few lucky ones who got that support. However, it wasn't like that, and it's very important. It didn't just start that way. It's very important in the very, very beginning, before it became a marriage, to have that agreement that this is what I'm doing, this is my dream, this is my goals, this is my mission, and this is me. So basically, that's a very important agreement to have in the very beginning. And that is, I believe, once a person sees that in you and you're hardworking, they will support you. So they are both one of our biggest supporters today in the business.
Ibrahim, your wife supports you 100%, I'm sure, because she's actively building the business.
Yes.
So what would your advice be, Ibrahim, to somebody who's just getting married?
In the networker or non-networker?
Both.
If it's a networker, then most likely the vision is the same, the goals are the same. But if it's not, in general, I believe that if a person is, if his wife is not a networker, as long as she supports the business, she understands what we do, she believes in what we do, I think it's fine. In general, regardless whether she's a networker or not, I always believe that that decision we took at the beginning, and I took at the beginning, no matter what happens, no matter who, should always continue. And I'll never, a person can't let go, no, regardless of his or her spouse.
So what gets you upset about your downline's behavior the most?
The most thing that gets me upset about the downline's behavior is the people who complain a lot. The people who complain a lot, you know, because I see that there's every day something you can be grateful for, and there's every day something you can complain about. So you choose. So what pisses me off is when you get that person, it's okay to complain once in a while, once in a blue moon maybe. But the people who constantly just complain about some negativity, or so obviously their goal or their mindset and vision is on a negative point. So what do you think they're going to achieve? More negativity. So the most thing that pisses me off is a complaining downline. And a person, and actually what pisses me even more than that is when a person waits for their upline to push them, to constantly push them, push. They're waiting for their upline to tell them, let's do a meeting, let's do whatever presentation. That really gets, that person obviously doesn't know why he's doing the business. So if you know why you're doing the business, number one thing you must do, and what I did, is take ownership. Regardless, your upline switched off or didn't switch off, you have the meeting set or you didn't have the meeting set. You must be a person who pushes yourself before anyone. So taking ownership is a key thing in building any business. And the most person that pisses me off is a person who complains and a person who's dependent, relying so much on his upline or her upline to do everything for them.
What about you, Nidaa? What pisses you off?
Taking responsibility. I believe one of the biggest turning points in my life is when I became, because in life a lot of things happen in life that, you know, if a person is not conscious, they would blame everything on circumstances. You know, this happened to me, this circumstances happened to me. But then we have the 90-10% rule, you know, where 10% of things are out of our hands. For example, the climate, the parents you're born into, these things maybe, you know, we don't really have much of a say in, but then we have 90% that we take responsibility and control our lives. And to me, that was one of the biggest turning points in my life personally, in the business and personally, is that when I started to take responsibility of everything that happens in my life. And one of the things that really annoys me is when I see people still playing the victim, you know, because it's easy to play a victim. It's very easy to play a victim, because then you could say, oh, you know, it didn't happen to me, or I didn't reach this because of this. I could blame, you know, I could justify why I did not succeed or why I didn't reach to a certain place in my life. But when I start taking responsibility of what happened, like a lot of people, they tell me, they say, I don't know why this is happening to me. So I tell them, what are you doing that is creating that reality, that's creating that kind of, that's projecting that kind of reality? So for me, the most important thing is taking responsibility for everything that happens. If something is not going, like I would see people, for example, they would do presentations because the upline said do presentations. So they would do presentations in and out, 1 month, 2 months. They're not getting results. They don't even think. They don't think, why am I not getting results? I'm just shut up, listen, and do. Yes, we do say shut up, listen, and do. But if you're not seeing results, there's something wrong. Think for a moment. Think. You know, take responsibility. And then they blame the upline. You told me to do presentations. Okay, so I did presentations, but I'm not getting the results. So it's not my fault. I did what you said. I'm not getting results. So this is what really gets my goat, as they say, is that when people play victim and not take responsibility for their results.
Ibrahim, you share the same thoughts, or you have your own thoughts?
I share the same thoughts, VP Sati, and another point is that when people, there are people that do the business and talk and try to preach and train people, but when it comes to the action, they're not there. So that always bothered me when people just keep pushing their downlines or pushing their team, but they don't really push themselves, so they don't lead by example. And I believe the best way to build is always being in the front and leading by example. But I definitely agree with both points.
The next question, a big chunk of your network are young people, and for them, their mindset is, I don't want to work so hard now. I still want to enjoy my life. I want to party first and then slowly work and enjoy, what would you tell them?
Pay now,
I started
pay
this
later.
business, VP Sati, when I was 19. So it always, yes, it was in my head. All right, I started the business at 19. I quit my job and I maxed out by the age of 22. The first max out was at the age of 22. So in my opinion, it's and living two types of life. I mean, before the network, a very life with no money, and living a life with money. So my advice to anybody that says I'm still young, believe me, make it now. All right, push yourself now, pay the price now, and live an amazing life with that money. All right, and at a young age, I always believed that was one of the biggest things I was lucky to have, was that I started this at a young age. And I believe anyone who started it, and I'm sure the people that started at an elder age would have wished to have started at a younger age.
Yeah.
What I tell them is either pay now or play later, or play now and pay later. But either way, you're going to have to pay.
I think the good thing about having younger people is, yes, they don't take responsibility and all that. However, they're big dreamers. So I joined the business at the age of 22, but you believe I made a decision that I'm not going to leave my 20s without $1 million. So a person who's they're younger, the bigger dreams they believe in, or they believe in their dreams even bigger. So that's the good thing.
The second part of the question, how do you deal with downlines who are much older than you?
I remember that was one of my my challenges when I first started, was that we had downlines that were double, right, the age or and way older. But I would, and what I saw personally was that age is nothing. All right, don't consider that as an issue. If you really believe in what you do, it'll cancel off totally the age factor. And if you're really good at it and you're practicing and you're leading by example and you're working really hard every day, even if a person, your downline is older than you, he'll still listen to you, because you're learning and you're proving that you're doing something. So I always believed that. And I remember in the early days, I spoke to VP David about this, and he said the same. He was like, age is nothing. Just focus on what you're doing, believe in what you do, and people will duplicate, people will follow you. So I never believed that should be an issue, especially if a person, it becomes an issue when a person is not practicing it every day. Then a person elder would probably not listen.
Yeah, age should never be an issue. The older a person gets, the more real he feels life is, how real things are, how much harder he went, what he's been through. So it's more real when you talk to people on an older age. They have more experience, so it's more realistic to talk to and talk about the business. It's all, I believe, it's positive here or there, younger or older. In the end, just be a person with a set goal, run after it, work hard, and people will follow regardless of their age.
True.
Okay, so there are many people in the network who build a sizable network, and then for whatever reason, the network collapsed. I'm sure 3 of you have gone through that as well.
Many times.
How do you overcome that? What would you tell them?
I believe that every network that collapses, there are a few people that would stay, all right? And those few people are the people that you want, okay? And I believe those are, we call it the filter. So every now and then you have to filter the network, and then at every network that collapses, there are a few people that still believe in the uplines or believe in the leadership and believe in what they're doing. It'll still continue. So, and then I believe every networker has to at least face these challenges because you learn a lot. So at the end of the day, it's a test to every upline that when he loses his network, all right, or the network collapses, it's a test for him, test for his patience, his persistence, how committed, a test for his commitment. And once he passes that test, all right, and proves that no matter what, he will still remain and continue working, that's when really he gets the thousands and tens of thousands of size of a network. I always believe that anything we face, all right, building the network is a test to the patience, the persistence, the commitment, and every network that collapses, there's a lot to be learned, all right, and that's great experience.
But isn't it frustrating? You build.
Yes, you get frustrated, but then you just have that mission and goal. And always remember that if you did it once, you could do it again. And that you just have more experience and you know better. And then I believe also that if anything great that you want will come with challenges, so you have to be willing to pay that price. If you're willing to pay the price, then you'll be willing to build once or twice. And we have had our network fall several times.
Yeah, I believe that challenges, especially when a network falls, it is very challenging, but it's easier when you build the second time. You have the experience, you have the, you learn from your mistakes. And whenever anybody faces with challenges, whether it's a network falling or, social, whatever, it's always a testament to their capabilities, to their abilities. And there's a saying in Arabic that says, "Inna Allah yabtali man yuhibbun," that God gives the person that He loves more challenges.
Could you repeat that slowly in Arabic?
Inna Allah yabtali man yuhibb. That means God gives challenges to those that He loves. Okay, it's to show you strength. It's to give, because He believes that in you is a greater power, that you have that there's a giant within you, that you are capable of doing so much more than what you have just done, and that He provided you with these challenges to take out that, or to let that giant out, to be able to get stronger and to deal with things in a better way.
Okay, so earlier you said that in 5 years, Championaire is going to be everywhere.
Yes.
And I believe that, but I have a question. What would your advice be to someone who wants to open a new country or a new market?
Be willing to pay the price, work hard, okay? Don't have a reason. Don't just do it because it's nice to have a new market. Know why you want it, and don't do it if you don't have your already market built. So build where you are first, then go start local, then go global. And you should know why you want it in the first place, because it all starts with the why. And then just be willing to pay the price. Go full force. It's just like building any other market. I don't believe there's such a thing as one market is different than this market, or that one is different. I believe the rules are the same in all markets. You just need to work hard and believe in what you're doing. It applies to every market. And of course, number one reason, and the most important thing, is take ownership. Take ownership to what you're doing. When you go, take ownership that this is something you have to be a person that depends on yourself.
I would say, VP Sati, that a person starting a new market has to be very committed. I totally agree with what Narjis said, but also this person has to be very committed, and not like people who go to a market once or twice or a few days. It really has to be committed and for long term to really build, and until he finds the few people. The beauty of what our industry and the business, that you don't need everyone. You need a few people that believe in you, believe in what you do, and you can build the whole country. But to be consistent and committed to building that market.
True. I would tell them to go on full force. Don't overthink it. Sometimes when we start thinking and overthinking situations, it starts to become more. We start putting more obstacles in front of us. So I would tell, as long as the person's committed, as long as the person, you just go on full force and don't overthink so much. When we overthink, we just tend to complicate a lot of things.
Yes.
VP Tati?
I believe, I don't know. Are you still online?
I think there was something with the connection.
Yeah, he's back. He's back. Welcome back, VP Sati.
You froze.
You're on mute. Mute. You have to unmute.
VP Sati. VP Sati.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So you're saying, Ibrahim?
No, I was saying VP Sati. I was waiting for the connection.
You were saying something earlier about opening up a new.
Yes. So to be committed and consistent on opening the market. Don't do it as a trial. Don't do it, okay, I'll go once, see what it's like, and come back. Do it consistently, build it. Sooner or later, you'll find a few people that would believe in what you believe in you, and with 2-3 people, you can build thousands. And that's what we saw when we built many different markets.
Yeah, I was saying, if you have the desire, you have the commitment, just don't overthink it and go on full force. Sometimes when we overthink things, we complicate it. But if we go on full force, don't overcomplicate it. You have the commitment, you have the passion, just go ahead and do it.
And what would you tell someone who says to you, my name list is Kalas, I don't know who to talk to anymore? What would you tell them then?
Today, I honestly, VP Sati, when I see the network today, all right, I'd say 90%, if not 100% probably, of the people that from them, or even if they're not here today with us, but from them, from their name list, a huge network was built. I would say that I think 100% of the network today are under people that we met randomly, rule twos, not from lists, not hot lists. I think, and I believe in most networks. It's just get to know people. That's the beauty of what we do. All right, there's not 1 second, not 1 minute in a day that they're not people outside. So the beauty of what we do is
there's no excuse today. There's no excuse today that you don't know anybody. You got social media, you got places, people to go. There's no excuse to not know people. A person who doesn't know people or networking, let's just say, I believe it's not only for QNet or for this business. Networking is for anything you want to do in life. So if a person doesn't learn the art of networking, regardless in what business he's doing, he's gonna have to at least learn the art of networking to make it in anything in his world. So that is just an art that you just need to learn regardless. Okay, so it's just mingling and getting to know people. And there's no excuses today, especially with the social media and the way we are working these days. No excuses. We need more time to answer people. We need more time to talk to people.
One of the things that I learned by being a parent is to be a good salesman, regardless of whether you're in the network or outside of the network. It's very important to have that talent to become a salesman or that skill, because as a parent, your child will either buy from you or will buy from somebody else, but they're going to buy. So it's an important skill. And I always tell people, when people come to me and tell me, I don't know how to explain to people, I don't have the skill to of convincing others, or they have that fear, they think it's a bad thing, or they don't know how to approach people. They think it's a bad thing, or like they're degrading themselves or something. So I tell them, look, if you're a parent, or if you ask any parent, one of the most important things is that you have to be able to convince others, or to be able to convince your child, or to be able to influence your child. Because if they're not going to buy from you what you're saying, they're going to buy from somebody else. So it better be you. You better have that skill. You should have it, regardless whether you're in the network or outside the network. It's an important skill to obtain.
One last topic. A lot of people go through this. It's called rejection. And for three of you, rejection is not an issue. But there's many people on this call. They get really affected by rejection. They get down, they get depressed, their belief goes down. Can you share a bit about rejection?
Well,
don't take it personally.
I think people feel rejected because they think they're being rejected personally. But in fact, it's not a personal rejection. Their mindset is not aligned with what you're saying. Their mindset is somewhere else. And that's why we always tell people, never cross out somebody just because they said no. Maybe right now, in that moment in time, they said no. It's not to you, but it's to their own mindset, to their own, wherever they are in their lives. So never exit person, and always come back to them, because you never know when people change. Their mentality change, their mindset, their situation changes. A lot of things changes, so it's not a personal rejection. It's just a rejection to their state of mind at that moment.
When a person says no, basically they're just saying not now. So usually in the past decade that we're doing the business, we've seen people on and on and on and again, people who actually said no once upon a time, signed up today, and many of those examples. So a person says no, it's not now. And rejection is just part of, it's not really, so anything you're afraid of, you'll get more of, right? So the idea is not to have that,
So if somebody you show the plan to and he says no, do you show him the plan again? And how long do you have to wait before you show him the plan again?
I don't believe that it's about showing the plan again as much as it's about building that bridge. Okay, so it's building that bridge between you and the person. So it's not like I invited you and then I did a presentation and that's it. No, even if you didn't join today, but to have that contact. Why? Because this person, he's going to join. If it's not today, tomorrow, if it's not 1 month from now, maybe a year from now, he will join. So if you don't have that bridge between you and him, and you broke it, he will join with someone else. So to have that bridge, to have him in your social media, have him around you, you sending him messages, broadcasts, New Year's, whatever, all kinds of celebrations, is to have that bridge constantly being built between you and your prospects. Because the person basically he could be somebody like me, who I wanted a business, I needed one thing. I just needed to know, because of all the negativity I heard at the beginning, I just needed to know that QNet pays. All I needed was to know that QNet, it really has money. There is money in QNet. That's all I needed to make that decision. And once that person just made that clear with me, I signed up. So you never know. Or you have people, examples like my sister or my brother, who are so against Tuna in the beginning, and then you just have to have them in your circle. So it's no, it's not now. Never break that bridge. So because you know he's going to sign up someday, sooner or later, he will sign up. So it's about making sure he will sign up with you.
I believe, VP Sati, that facing rejections is very important, because that's how people learn, and it makes. I remember the first few months, the amount of people that said no and to us in the beginning, it really created that aggressiveness. All right, I remember reaching to a point, I was like, leave my dreams aside. All right, I'm gonna prove all these people wrong, and it really created this hype and aggressiveness. And today, any book or any video on YouTube or any success story we read or hear about are people that, whether it's in our industry or any industry, are people that started in an industry and people around them were against them and they made it. We never hear a success story today or watch a video or read a book about a person that started something and everyone around him was okay and agreed and joined him and he became something big. So I believe that rejection is a very important part of this process. A person just has to see the 2 steps ahead, that he's learning a lot from that, and like Narjis said, sooner or later the person will come back.
Let's talk about goal setting for a bit. How important is goal setting? And what I don't understand is many people who set goals and they don't achieve it, their belief goes down and then slowly they stop setting goals. How important is goal setting in our business?
I believe if you don't set goals, you can't achieve anything if you're not setting goals. Because and anything in life, you have to have goals, small ones, big ones, so that you know what is your next milestone. So you know what to do today, what to do tomorrow. Because if you fail to plan, so you plan. If you fail to plan, so you plan to fail. So basically, if you don't have goals and you don't have a target, you are basically planning your life for failure. So I believe it's not just in the business, anything, to have goals is very important. Otherwise, no one will reach any goal. And it's good to set big goals too. Even if it's something that you feel it's hard for you to reach, just don't give up on it. Set big goals, and maybe the timeline will change more or less. Just set that goal. Don't give up on. Because as I believe you said before, if dreaming is free, then why don't we dream big? Just dream big, big and bigger. So I believe in dreaming big. I believe in setting goals and putting timelines. Regardless, sometimes you hit them, sometimes you need to change the time. Just set goals, because you'll be wasting your life if you just don't.
One of the biggest, VP Sati, I remember one of your trainings back in, I think, 2010 in Bahrain, when we had an NSS, right, 2010, and it was about 3,000 people. And I remember you spoke about your list, all the things you wanted to do. So I remember that really showed me the importance of how important it is to put all these goals and dream big. And I think it's very important. That's the biggest thing that drives us, is where a person wants to reach, where we want to reach, what are the goals we want to achieve. And if sometimes a goal wasn't achieved, just recalculate the timing and work towards it better. That's it. But always remember your list.
I constantly, the thing that I mainly focus on with the network is putting goals, and especially rank advancement goals. I remember when I became platinum, and when I set those milestones for myself and for the network, it was what paved the way. Without putting those plans in place, without putting those goals in place, I would never have achieved those milestones, and neither would have the network. Putting weekly plans, monthly plans, bi-yearly plans is something every time I always work with my people it's really important to put plans and goals in order to achieve and to have that belief in yourself that you're capable. So if you're able to do this much or this goal, then you could do the one after, and you could do the one after it. It instills more belief within.
Well, I hope to see more diamonds and blue diamonds in Championaire very soon.
Yes.
Yes.
We're already planning.
Okay. Let's start with the youngest. Ibrahim, what's your closing message to everyone in Talk of the Town?
The closing message. 11 years later, the best decision I took in my life was to start this journey. The second best decision was taking it seriously. So, and my message to everyone on this call is, you started this, take it seriously. I never imagined, 11 years later, where we can reach, and just believe in yourself, believe in the leadership, believe in the company, believe in the industry, take that decision that is going to change your life and work towards it. And that's my message to everyone on this call. We're in a great time to build. Everyone in the world's looking for opportunities online, mainly to people. Many people are worried about another lockdown. So this is the best time to build. This is the best opportunity you have to build a great business, global business. All right, sitting at home, making a lot of money. So that's my message to everyone.
Thank you. Nargis?
Well, the number one thing is taking this business seriously. You have a gold mine between your hands. You have something that is, it's network marketing. The biggest gurus of the world speak about this industry. So if you're in something so powerful for yourself in this time of day, we're no longer in a health crisis. We're also in a bigger economical crisis today. So what we have to do is we have to understand what is the biggest thing that's growing today. Is all online businesses, and especially network marketing, especially QNet today. We're growing in almost stronger than we've ever been before. So taking this business seriously, taking the ownership, okay, that you're doing this business in the end, not for anyone, for yourself. So if you have a goal, set your goal, know what you want, then work harder than you have ever worked before, because 2020 still, we didn't end the year. We still have 5 more months left for the year to finally achieve something that you always wanted. So take that 5-6 months left of the year, make it your year by putting your goal set and always looking at it, because the negativity can always be around us, always, but always looking at your goal, no matter how high or how low you feel, and your goal is set, you will always feel positive. You'll always want to do more. You'll always achieve more. So having that is very important. Plus taking ownership. Taking ownership in the end, this is your business. No one's going to create your success but yourself. No, people can help you, but in the end, this is your success story. This is for you and for your family. So know why you're doing it, taking ownership, and depend on yourself and no one else. And go full force to the top.
Beautiful. Nidaa?
I would say take responsibility for your results. A lot of people, they take responsibility for their lives, but when it comes to the results, they don't take the responsibility. So I'd say take responsibility with your results. If the results that you're getting is not what you want, then look at how you're working. Look at how you are, what are you doing that's wrong? So taking ownership of your results, put plans, put rank advancement plans, okay, goals for your rank advancement, have the belief, and most importantly, trust in your uplines, okay? VP Sachin said something very important when he was talked about having a coach in this business, having a coach in life, and one of the most blessed things I believe in this business is that each person has that coach and each person has that upline to guide them, to guide them to the finish line. And so trust in your upline, believe, just be lucky that you have that upline that was helping you, taking you by the hand, helping you step by step to reach your goals, and he's working really hard to reach your goals. So believe, take responsibility, believe in yourself, believe in the business, in this industry, in the future of this industry, okay, and that we're in the most amazing business in the world. And we're the only business that helps other people. In order for me to achieve, we have to help other people achieve their goals for me to achieve my goals. So take ownership, believe in what you're doing, and trust your upline, because that is a blessing in itself.
And we're very proud to have the best uplines, all right? And that's a great, we are where we are today because of because of VP David, you, VP Sati, Chief, the founders, and that's, we're very proud. We're very lucky.
Of course.
And the V is very proud to have the three of you in QNet, one of the strongest teams in QNet. Very proud of Championess achievements. Very proud of three of you. I hope that together we can raise the bar much higher and become one of the biggest.
Yes, make it happen
all around the world. So thank you very much, Nidaa, Narjis, Ibrahim.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is the end of Talk of the Town, episode 3. As you heard from the trio, very powerful trio, the Rivex. You heard what each of them said. Remember, it's about you. This is your business. This is your dream. You got to believe in yourself. Don't let anyone steal this away from you. You got to dream big, work hard, take ownership. That's very important. All three of them said the same thing. Take ownership, believe in yourself, push yourself, and it will happen for you. Okay? we will see you in 2 weeks' time, where episode 4 of Talk of the Town is something very exciting.
Exciting.
Keep it a surprise for now. But don't forget also to register for VCon Connect. It's going to be amazing. 6, 7, and 8 of September. Make sure you're all there. Guys, thank you very much. Stay safe. If you go out, put on a mask. Take care. See you the next.
Thank you.
Thank you.